Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
If you're seeking Lake Country's finest, don't miss out on the Westerly opening this spring. Whether it's active fitness, enjoying a swim in the indoor pool, improving your handicap using our golf simulator, or hosting guests on our rooftop patio, the Westerly has you covered. Providing seniors with award-winning residences throughout Wisconsin, this locally owned and operated company is engaged and offers unmatched services. Apartment reservations are booking quickly. Call Stacy at 262-737-5501 or visit livingwesterly.com.
Eager to remodel your kitchen, bath, or rec room? This is Rob Adair, and we're ready with a personal redesign for you. Adair Floors and Remodeling in Franklin. Give us a call and get personal care from Adair. 761-3660. AdairFloors.com.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The Bucks are back for their home opener at Fiserv Forum.
Giannis going coast to coast on the other side, draws the foul and kisses it in anyway. Here comes Lillard the other way. He wants in on the front, launches from three and delivers a beauty.
And what better opponent to start against than the Bulls from south of the border? Our coverage of the game starts tonight at 6 with Buck Shoot Around on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
6 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, October 25th, our top story, a new tax for Racine County.
I'm Erik. Bilstad still with the long lines.
I'm Debbie Laziga. We're looking pretty good out there on the roads. A little bit wet, not too bad though. We do have one broken down vehicle in the Hale interchange itself on the ramp from westbound 894 to northbound 894. But other than that, we're looking really good. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Clearing skies today after some evening rain overnight as well, but that is clearing out. High of 63 degrees today. Clear skies overnight. Lakeside low down to 40, 34 degrees if you're away from Lake Michigan. And right now, Milwaukee temp at 50. The Racine County Board for the WTMJ Breaking News Center has voted to move forward with a half-cent sales tax, which will take effect in April. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live at the Breaking News Center with a look at this new tax.
That's right, Vince. The 0.5% tax comes in response to several county services, such as the sheriff's office, struggling to stay financed. The sheriff alone is facing a $5 million deficit in Racine County. An earlier draft of the tax would have allocated around half of the projected $20 million a year earned to property tax relief, but supervisors voted on Thursday to amend that proposal, so only $2 million of taxes raised would be used for that purpose. Earlier this week, Waukesha County leaders tabled plans to vote on their own 0.5% sales tax so that more public discussion on the ordinance could be held.
As day 4 of in-person absentee voting begins in the state this past week, polling places still packed.
The line at Waukesha City Hall stretched out the doors. Voters gathered together to cast their ballots Wednesday. Interim City Clerk Linda Gordeau says voting booths have been packed since early voting started.
Usually in the past, with my experience anyway, with elections, there's been more of an ebb and flow where it's busy right away in the morning, busy at lunch, busy toward the evening. This has just been busy all day.
Gordeau says the influx of people each day has caused slowdowns, but that hasn't kept people from voting. In Waukesha, David Ozady-Scott, WTMJ News.
Decision Wisconsin coverage continuing here with less than 2 weeks out till Election Day. Both parties reaching out to voters everywhere they can. For Democrats, that includes the basketball court.
I think this is the most important election of my lifetime. It really is, and we got to get everybody to understand that.
That's what Milwaukee Bucks head coach Doc Rivers told voters on Thursday at Rose Park on Milwaukee's north side. With Coach Rivers was second gentleman Doug Emhoff encouraging voters to dismiss misinformation from the Trump campaign.
With 10, 12 days left, that's all they're trying to do do. They're trying to run away and run out the clock and just keep spreading this fog of misinformation and disinformation so people are confused as to what's happening.
Polls are still open for voting all the way until November 5th. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Vice President Harris in Houston for a rally today, including an appearance by Beyonce. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump heads to Texas to record an episode of the Joe Rogan podcast. He is expected in Green Bay for a rally next week.
RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., wants the Supreme Court to take his name off the Wisconsin ballot because he suspended his campaign in August. He now supports Trump. Kennedy wants a sticker placed over his name, citing state law that allows if a candidate dies.
One person dead after crash Thursday afternoon, 76 in Appleton, Milwaukee's northwest side. Semi was turning when a car traveling in the other direction drove right into it. The 37-year-old driver of the car taken to the hospital, and that person later died. Driver of the semi did remain on scene and is said to be cooperating with the investigation.
2 men in custody following a shooting in Cudahy. This happened 5 a.m. near Packard and Iona Terrace. Man from West Dallas intentionally damaging a vehicle, and the owner from Milwaukee fired shots at him to stop. Police say the West Dallas man was reportedly stalking a woman at that house. Both men taken into custody.
Coming up, addressing the elephant in the room in Colorado. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 6:04.
When you walk into your bathroom, is it turn this into this? With our SiteX Creepiest Tub or Shower Contest. Enter a picture of your creepy tub or shower space at WTMJ.com for a chance to win a brand new complete tub or shower conversion installed at no cost, up to a $10,000 value. Enter your picture by texting creepy to the WTMJ talk and text line. It's the Creepiest Shower Contest, only here on WTMJ.
Here's what Tammy Baldwin thinks about President Trump and you.
Donald Trump might be one of the most offensive and hateful and unacceptable presidential candidates we've ever had. So what does that say about the people who support him?
Tammy Baldwin is a liberal snob. Voter route.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Hey, Wisconsin, Jim Bob Morse here. Get ready to break out the Bandito with El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day. 100% blue Weber agave, award-winning, all-natural, additive-free, and the smoothest tequila Milwaukee, Madison, and Titletown has ever tasted. Get yours today at La Pina on 3rd Street or your favorite local store. Remember, you always win with the undefeated flavor of El Bandito Yankee tequila. And for events, recipes, and places for purchase, go to elbanditoyankee.com.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's fall workwear event is going on now. We've got unbeatable deals on quality boots and apparel to help your hard-earned dollars go further. Like men's work and sport flannels, starting at $24.99. Get $30 in Carhartt bucks for every $125 you spend on Carhartt gear. See store for details. Plus, shop unbeatable toy deals in Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland. Now open, like a Bluey mini home playset. On sale for just $17.99.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Travel deliciously to Milwaukee, Chicago, or around the world. This is Teresa with Milwaukee Food and City Tours. Listen this Saturday at noon to hear about our next adventure, or join a tour at MilwaukeeFoodTours.com.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 6:07.
Packers defensive coordinator sent a text this week to his star safety. What he said. Coming up in sports at 6:15.
After more than 235 days in space, the longest of any human SpaceX mission, NASA's Crew 8 returned to Earth this morning.
And splashdown.
Yep, there was the splashdown. The SpaceX Dragon capsule carrying the 4-member crew. They splashed down off the coast of Pensacola, Florida around 2:30 this morning.
Colorado court being forced to address the elephant in the room.
Activists with the Non-Human Rights Project are suing the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, claiming 5 elephants in captivity are being unlawfully imprisoned and should be protected by habeas corpus, meaning they should not be held captive without legal justification. The zoo fighting back, saying one requirement of habeas corpus is that the benefiting party will go free. Our elephants cannot go free because they cannot survive without human care.
ABC's Andrea Fujii.
Heads up, pizza lovers in the Madison area. Public Health Madison and Dane County is warning residents to throw out any pizza from Famous Yetis in Stoughton. Apparently, the oil in a container used to make the pizza tested positive for THC. The owner of Famous Yetis is cooperating with authorities. Not sure how that happened.
Impossible.
Those experiencing
Unless
THC
deliberate.
poisoning could experience nausea, vomiting, anxiety, hallucinations, might like the Grateful Dead. I'm kidding. But seriously, you should, if you're having any issues and have had the pizza, you should call 911. You can get much more information on our website at WTMJ.com.
A lot of customers express the convenience of a one-stop shop. All taken care of in one. 6:08 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Sure, it's election season, but there are some things that all of us should still be able to agree on, like this. Elections in Wisconsin should be decided by the citizens of Wisconsin. But our democracy is under threat from radical groups that are fighting to keep the door open for illegal immigrants and non-citizens voting. Your Republican state legislators passed an amendment that would make sure only citizens get to vote. But a network of radical groups and special interests are fighting against it. Groups that support mass amnesty for illegal immigrants, abolishing ICE and funding sanctuary cities, outright socialist, all working together to keep the door open to non-citizens voting in our elections. Wisconsin, we need to protect our elections. Vote yes on the referendum and support Republican candidates for state Senate and state assembly who are fighting to protect your vote. The Republican Party of Wisconsin paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Save big this week on Sendik's Natural Black Angus Ground Sirloin for just $3.99 per pound. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What's happening, Deb?
Not much, Vince. We're looking pretty good. Typical Friday morning where it is moving along fine. We got full freeway speeds, no bunching up just yet, just that one broken down vehicle in the Hale interchange, and that's even out of traffic on the ramp from westbound 894 to northbound. Other than that, we're looking great. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Rain rolled through last night. Now a high pressure is moving in to take control into the weekend. We'll look at clearing skies today. Lots of afternoon sunshine with high temperatures in the lower 60s. Clear skies tonight and cool temperatures will fall into the mid-30s inland, 40 by the lakefront. We'll look at Saturday's high temperatures to stay in the upper 50s with sunny skies all day long. Mostly sunny for Sunday with high temperatures a bit warmer in the lower 60s. Monday, mid-60s, mostly cloudy and breezy. Tuesday, we're going to crank up those temperatures into the upper 70s. Partly cloudy skies, breezy and warm throughout the day. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 50 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
New hope, Vince, for California prisoners Lyle and Erik Menendez. You know these two. These are the brothers, each serving life in prison without parole for the murder of their parents back in 1989. Been in the news a lot lately. The case came back into public scrutiny thanks to Netflix and social media. Allegations of molestation that may have led to the murders and new evidence there. The Los Angeles District Attorney is now recommending a judge re-sentence the brothers.
I believe that they have paid their debt to society.
That's George Gascon, the DA, recommending that their life sentence without parole be replaced to make them eligible for parole, and he's making that recommendation today to the judge.
In making his recommendation, Gascon addressed allegations the brothers were sexually abused by their father.
I do believe that the brothers were subjected to a tremendous amount of dysfunction in the home and molestation.
Allegations their supporters say are backed up by new evidence, including a letter written by Erik at that time, and claims from another man who says he was also abused by Jose Menendez.
That's ABC's Andrea Fujii. You've seen pictures and videos of these guys. You may even remember the case from way back in the 80s. It's been hot recently. Lots of conversation about it.
See, and Netflix has the ability to do that with these, true crime stories, and the Avery and his nephew, Brendan Dassey, were hoping for a similar outcome. It got a lot of attention, but it didn't get them the relief that they had hoped.
So the DA held a news conference Thursday. Today, he will recommend the judge and a hearing on the matter. will likely take place in the next couple of weeks. ABC's Shonda Lloyd, and what will happen next?
This recommendation is going to go before the judge. The judge is going to look at all the new evidence. He is going to make a determination. Is this substantial enough to bring in the extraordinary method of or measure of a reduced sentence?
Now, that is ABC's Shonda Lloyd there. So a hearing on the matter could be held within 30 to 45 days. LA judge will ultimately decide whether the brothers will be resentenced. And the DA supports that resentencing. So if you eliminate the parole situation or the life without parole, they could be set free almost immediately.
Story, no question, has captivated a lot of people. I gotta say, I don't know, like I was, high school age when that all played out. I've not been terribly interested in it.
All it takes is one very well-crafted story, and I mean story meaning like a documentary or...
You think the DA watched that doc?
I'm sure there's some pressure.
Yeah.
There's probably some pressure. And there's some question as to whether or not these two would have been convicted had this been happening nowadays.
All right, 6:14, we got sports coming up next, and it is chock full of action this weekend.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's called Inspired Closets, but my friends Katie and Dan can help you reimagine virtually any space in your home. You want to be inspired? Visit inspiredclosetsmilwaukee.com and you'll see there pictures of their work, garage, pantry, entryway, home office, and yes, obviously closets. You see something you like, you stop out at the showroom in Waukesha. It's right near Gerke's Corners, and you can try out all the hardware. And this is why you want Inspired Closets Milwaukee, because they're local. A lot of folks do stuff online, but you can sit down with the team here. They'll visit your home, and then together you custom design solutions. Clear the clutter, calm the chaos, and tell them Vinny sent you, and they'll give you 10% off the cost of your project or 18 months of free financing. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The Bucks open up Fiserv Forum tonight, the home opener against the Chicago Bulls. What kind of season can Bucks fans hope for?
You've made a grave mistake underestimating the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, I love that statement. You have made a grave mistake.
Bucks President Peter Fagan on WTMJ's Midday News on Thursday. He told Greg and Jessica, he said, hey, well, because don't forget, they got pulled from they're not playing Christmas Day this year, and that's always a big day to play. He said, hey, they remember that stuff. Don't think the players didn't notice that.
We've got a sense of pride. Like, we are built to be a championship quality team. And now it's kind of proof, and these are global superstars, generational stars that basically are going to prove to everybody.
Bucks and Bulls tip off at 7 o'clock at Fiserv Forum. Our coverage here on WTMJ begins at 6 with Bucks Shoot Around.
Packers and Jaguars on Sunday. Much made of the visit to Green Bay this week from the guy Aaron Rodgers, fired last week from the Jets. Former Jets coach Robert Saleh pals around with Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, brought in to help the offense. Packers quarterback Jordan Love said, yeah, it helped.
Having a defensive mind, talking offense and helping us, with things that we might be able to see, kind of some of our scheme stuff, things that defenses might be looking for, it helps.
It helps. Trap game, though. You're on the road against a crummy Jaguars team. They're 2-5. You got the division-leading Lions in primetime next week, so let's get in, get the win, and get out. Not be looking ahead. It's a noon kick on the road in Jacksonville Sunday. The number 3 team in the land comes to Camp Randall Stadium on Saturday.
Here we go.
It's a big game. Badgers host the undefeated Nittany Lions of Penn State. It is homecoming. It is Halloween weekend.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be up for grabs in Madison
fantastic.
Saturday night. 6:30 is the kick time.
Speaking of the Badgers, Wisconsin women's volleyball, history made in Bloomington.
And the Badgers have won their 8th straight match. And with that victory, Wisconsin head coach Kelly Sheffield has reached career win number 306 at the University of Wisconsin. He is the all-time winningest coach for the Badgers.
Yeah, congratulations to Coach Kelly. That's how it sounded on WTMJ Radio on Thursday night. Wisconsin sweeps Indiana, and Sheffield gets his 306th victory. All-time leader now in victories at UW. He joined the Badger Radio Network after the game, saying thank you to everybody. Couple of quick things. Game 1 of the World Series, Dodgers-Yankees tonight. And how about those Minnesota Vikings? They lose. Upset by the Rams on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, they should have won that game against the Rams if the Vikings are who we thought they were.
Maybe not.
To quote another famous quote. 6:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Between market volatility, inflation, global unrest, and the presidential election, there's a lot going on. Take control with help from Annex Wealth Management. Have a plan built that matches up with your investment and retirement goals. Annex does it as a fee-only fiduciary with unbiased advice. Annex offers financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. Head to AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button. It's time to put things in order. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. AnnexWealth.com.
There's a special event going on right now. Hi, everybody. Debbie Lazaga here for Hall Volkswagen, and it's called the Hall's Drive Out Cancer Event. They've teamed up with This Time Tomorrow Foundation, and they've partnered with them for the last 10 years, so they know what they're doing. This Time Tomorrow Foundation's a local charity that raises money for individuals and families fighting all forms of cancer, a disease affecting so many more people than you can even imagine. So here's how it works. If you purchase a new 2024 Volkswagen vehicle during this event, Hall will donate to the foundation in your honor. All you got to do is go to hallcars.com. You can find out a lot more information about both the foundation and how you can help.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. We're cooking more at home now. We're working out at home. We're hydrating more at home. Guthrie and Fry make sure the water in my house is crisp, clean, and clear. I've got their water softener. I've got an RO system that filters my water. I know that quality products and services at a fair price from a local company is something I can trust. That's Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. Comprehensive, reliable products, fixed rental rates, Guthrie and Fry.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
At Fleet Farm, we're serious about offering whatever you need at the best prices guaranteed. Big things, little things, everything. Like Diamond Crystal Solar Salt for only $4.79 a bag. Or 25 pounds of black oil sunflower seed for $9.99. And 40 pounds of Litter Delight cat litter is on sale now for just $8.99. And as always, if you happen to find it for less, we'll match it. So stock up on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. All at the best prices guaranteed.
Debbie, I want to hear about your cookie tasting at
you betcha.
We Energies event. We'll do that in a moment here.
Okay.
You ready to discuss?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, let's do the roads first.
All right. We're actually looking really good. It's a typical Friday morning where ain't nothing going on. So we've got light volume, full freeway speed. Some areas might be a little bit wet, and water plus leaves down on the ground might be a little bit slippery, so just be extra careful out there. But otherwise, we are looking really good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Clear sky today, I should say, a high of 63. Tonight, clear sky, a low of 34. Saturday, sunny 57. Sunday, sunny 62. Right now in Milwaukee at 6:21, it is 50 degrees.
On this Friday morning here, Wisconsin's Morning News. So glad you're joining us here as we end the work week. Greg Pancake Hill produces the program. Erik and Vinny here till 9 o'clock. We got Adam in the newsroom and Debbie Lazaga, not only on traffic, but on cookies.
Yes.
Erik, November 2nd is what? It's a big day.
Oh,
big day.
Is this Cookie Book Day?
It's Cookie Book Day.
All right.
November 2nd is the big We Energies holiday cookie book that comes out. And that's the big distribution day, both at American Family Field here and in Fox Valley. It's going to be at Fox City Stadium. These huge events where folks line up and because they want the book in person. They want to hold that book.
Yeah.
And We Energies invited a number of folks who are in the public view, in the public eye, if you will.
Or ear.
To participate in their annual sort of cookie tasting event. And Debbie was our representative here from WTMJ.
Yes, I was. And I thought I was just going to go have cookies, but nah, not so much. There was actually work involved. There's a contest. We were broken up into teams, and we had 3 cookies that we were going to taste, and we had to see if we could tell the ingredients. Now, we're not talking about, sugar. Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. No. We had to tell the difference between light brown sugar and dark brown sugar. Peppermint extract versus mint extract.
Oh.
How the heck are you supposed to? What?
Yeah,
I thought I was just going
a little
for cookies.
nitpicky. Yeah, nutmeg. What does nutmeg taste like? I don't know.
Nutmeg.
It's spice.
Okay, so needless to say, I didn't do great, but I had a chance to talk with none other, the one and only Mrs. Santa Claus. She was there to watch over this contest, and I like to say I got a ringing endorsement. She said that Santa Claus uses my traffic reports.
Ooh, there you go.
So between me and Rudolph, we've got the big guy covered, so no problems there. We broke up into teams, and the team that won was Ben Handelman's from Fox 6. And the other person that was there was not too happy about it. It was Susan Kim from TMJ4, and she had to bring her certificate. Now, Vince, I know you know this certificate. It's the only one in existence on the planet. She made sure everybody knew this.
Susan, one year when we were anchoring together at TMJ4, made every single cookie, every recipe in the cookie book.
It was in the 2019 We Energies cookie book.
She brought in trays of cookies every morning. Sometimes it was 2 recipes, sometimes 3, sometimes just 1 if it was particularly complex. And we ate every one of those cookies.
Yeah. You tried every single recipe.
Accurate.
Yeah, I talked to Susan when I was there after the whole thing. I was trying to, calm the ruffled feathers. And let's see.
Susan, tell me about how you're feeling right now. I am feeling a little disappointed because I do need another certificate to add to my collection. And I don't know if Vince told you, but he ate every cookie in the 2019 cookie book that I baked.
He should have gotten a certificate for that.
He was arguing for one when he saw mine for baking them. He ate every single one of them and was disappointed not to get a certificate as well.
It's a yeah. So
I don't know that that's been accurately represented.
Boy, you're that upset about this.
He's just demanding some sort of certificate.
Right.
Ms. Nansky had everyone too.
Well, I think both of you guys should have gotten one, honestly. But so it was not an easy thing. It wasn't just go in and eat cookies and say, I like the texture of this. This one would go with tea. This one would go with coffee. No. So are you using buttermilk or sour milk?
Who won the thing?
Ben Handelman from Fox 6.
All right.
So, yeah, I did speak with him as well. So I wanted to see how he felt about the whole thing.
Debbie, I'm actually speechless. I just can't believe it. 2 years in a row. My mouth buds are still zinging with all of the great flavors, and it's an honor. It's a true honor.
Yeah, 2 years in a row. Susan's not happy.
So these were a couple of the new recipes, though, in this upcoming book. What were they, or did anything stand out for you that folks can expect when they get their hands on this thing?
I personally liked the little shortbread that had the frosting on it and had little sprinkles on it. So that was the first one that we tried. And my team didn't. On the team, we actually got some of the bakers that had sent in their recipes. We didn't get their cookies. Obviously, that would be kind of conflict of interest. But no, they were helping us out with like the flavor profiles, believe it or not. So this was serious stuff, man. I was nerve-wracked.
Well, and the thing about the cookie book is, right, you mentioned these are recipes that are submitted to We Energies. They're vetted first. They look at all of them, and then they decide which ones they're actually going to test out and try to bake. These are their team over there bakes all of these cookies, tries them, and then they decide, like it's a juried art fair, what ends up in the book. But these are contributions from Wisconsin families all over our state. Sometimes they're family traditions. Sometimes there's something new that someone's whipped up. But these are Wisconsin contributions.
They work on it all year long. They're already working on 2025's cookie book. So. Yeah, and Ben won a book. Ben won the 2024 book. So he got an early. He got an early book. I know.
So again, the big distribution dates, Fox City Stadium in Appleton and American Family Field in Milwaukee. That will be November 2nd. And then there are distribution dates for the hard copy of that book throughout the state in the month of November. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was down another 141 points to 42,374. The NASDAQ closed up about 0.75% to 18,415. S&P 500 up as well, up about 13 points to 5810. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
We're thrilled to have the one and only Will Pounder.
I don't know what that means.
Labeled or known as being a big baguette.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Those who don't have 20/20 vision usually do something about it. But many who can't breathe freely through their nose just live with it, not realizing they can have 20/20 breathing. At Advent, we're out to change that. With 20/20 breathing, you'll have fewer sinus infections, more energy, you'll sleep better, and you will live better. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. In 2006, Advent pioneered the balloon sinuplasty procedure. And since, thousands of our patients can tell you, this simple 20-minute in-office solution really works. Balloon sinuplasty can give you 20/20 breathing so you can breathe freely through both nostrils with your mouth closed day and night. And that can change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
It's spooky season, and Heiser's got monster savings waiting for you. Are your tires giving you a bumpy, loud, and spine-chilling ride? Howling like a ghost with every turn? Feeling like you're in a horror movie? Don't let those worn-out, haunted tires turn your car into a nightmare. We'll keep your ride safe for all of your spooky season adventures. With 5 certified service centers, we can banish any frightful tire problem. So don't wait. Stop in today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
6:30. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Friday, October 25th. Our top story, moving forward with a new tax in Racine County.
I'm Erik Bilstad, a step closer to saving the domes.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Everything's looking great out on the roads right now. Light volume and pretty much standard speeds. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Clearing skies after the overnight rain and a high of 63 degrees today. Clear skies tonight. 34 degrees, your inland low. Be a little bit warmer if you're right along the lakeshore. And the weekend looks great. High temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s with sunshine.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. We are 11 days away from the 2024 presidential election. Donald Trump in Austin, Texas today, taping the Joe Rogan podcast. Kamala Harris in Houston, Texas, appearing with Beyonce and Willie Nelson, both of whom have endorsed her. What do voters think about the idea of Donald Trump as a fascist, as former Trump Chief of Staff John Kelly contends this week? ABC News asked about that in a recent poll, and ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has the numbers.
This ABC News Ipsos survey shows half of registered voters believe Donald Trump is a fascist, defined in our poll as a political extremist who seeks to act as a dictator, disregarding individual rights and threatening to use force against his or her opponents. Under that definition, 22% say Kamala Harris is a fascist. A third say neither candidate is.
President Biden is in the Southwest today, where he will formally apologize to the indigenous community for the federal government's role in operating Native American boarding schools. This is ABC News.
Exciting Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Racine County Board voted to move forward with a 0.5% sales tax. It will take effect in April. Move comes, they say, in response to several county services struggling to stay financed. An earlier draft of the tax would have allocated roughly half of the projected $20 million a year earned to property tax relief. However, supervisors voted to instead spend more Thursday, amending the proposal so that only $2 million of the taxes raised would be used for that purpose. Earlier in the week, Waukesha County leaders tabled plans to vote on their own 0.5% sales tax.
6 ayes, 0 noes. The motion prevails.
With a unanimous vote, the Milwaukee County Board's Finance Committee is approving a 2025 budget amendment for the $133 million proposal to reimagine the Mitchell Park domes. The proposal would include Milwaukee County committing $30 million over 6 years to restore the domes and then renovate the gift shop and add an interactive children's garden, cafe, and other items as well. The county would still own the domes, but the Friends of the Domes operation would actually run it. The full board will vote in November. County Supervisor Juan Miguel Martinez this is his district. He'll join us on Wisconsin's Morning News at 8:10.
Polling places still reporting delays this week, days into in-person absentee voting. TMJ4 Chief Political Reporter Charles Benson telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News the delays, according to elections officials, have been due to the printing of ballot envelope labels.
They're saying the delays have only affected the label printing time. So if you go and get your ballot, you go vote, you put it in, it's taking anywhere from a couple minutes to several minutes.
The Wisconsin Election Commission says a system update Wednesday has helped alleviate some of those delays and that all voting systems are fully functional.
The line to cast ballots has been stretching out the door in many areas, including at Waukesha City Hall for the early voting. Interim City Clerk Linda Gordeau tells WTMJ voting booths have been packed since it started.
We're motoring along. It's nice to see all the people in line, and for the most part, everybody's being very gracious.
Gordeau also says the city has received 10,000 of its estimated 40,000 absentee ballots as of Tuesday night.
Quarter pounders are now off the menu at fully 1/5 of McDonald's restaurants across the U.S. because of an E. coli outbreak. The chief health policy advisor from Milwaukee County telling WTMJ the CDC has prioritized its investigation.
They fast-tracked it. It's called a fast-moving investigation.
Dr. Ben Weston joined Wisconsin's Midday News to talk about the outbreak that's captured the country's attention. E. coli cases linked to quarter pounders.
They're trying to not only find the root cause and track cases, but also make sure that whatever the contaminant is tracked down and removed from that supply chain so more people don't get sick.
A preliminary investigation suggests fresh slivered onions served raw on quarter pounders are the likely source of contamination. A supplier for McDonald's has now announced a recall on 4 onion products out of an abundance of caution. Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Coming up, the surprise hit of the Halloween costume.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
The Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales, Luther Gray.
James Imaging has been a wonderful partnership with the Milwaukee Symphony and just great to work with.
In what ways?
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
Luther, James Imaging Systems is a local business technology company that stands with their clients over the long term.
Yes, before, during, and after the sale, James Imaging is there, and they are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Luther, any advice for others looking for a long-term business technology partnership?
I would tell them that James Imaging is the way to go.
Start your business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems today. It's easy to do. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
When you walk into your bathroom, is it turn this into this? With our SiteX Creepiest Tub or Shower Contest. Enter a picture of your creepy tub or shower space at WTMJ.com for a chance to win a brand new complete tub or shower conversion installed at no cost, up to a $10,000 value. Enter your picture by texting creepy to the WTMJ talk and text line. It's the Creepiest Shower Contest, only here on WTMJ.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
Told you about that text message that Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley sent to his star safety. I'll tell you what message was so important coming up at 6:45.
We're less than a week away before Halloween is here, and pop culture costumes reign supreme for this year as children and adults alike prepare to dress up for the festivities. So group costumes, when you have multiple people dressed up as a theme. What's hot right now? Well, Mark Bites, the Chief Marketing Officer at HalloweenCostumes.com, tells ABC there's one that's really taking charge, and it's an iconic 80s franchise.
Ghostbusters, that's up over 80% year over year. It's becoming a really popular family-themed costume.
So Ghostbusters is the hot family-themed one.
When was that second reboot out?
It's been a year now.
Was that this year? I don't know why that's on the radar. Not that Ghostbusters isn't timeless.
All right, so what about this one? The surprise hit of the fall for the Halloween costumes. What is it? It's come in the form of Moo Dang, the tiny viral hippo.
That hippo just really kind of took over the internet. And so we ended up selling out of all of our hippo costumes in September.
Yeah.
Sold out of all of our regular stock of hippo costumes.
So here's my favorite part of that. I play that sound and I look up at Vince and you're shaking your head no, like you're disappointed and angry that Moo Dang is popular. You're like,
so mad.
Of all the animals, why are you upset about Moo Dang? Why are you shaking your head?
I don't know. I just didn't get into the hippo. I don't get it.
I'm going to get you a costume.
Look, there have been baby hippos before.
You're right.
Since ever. As far as we know.
I'm going to take a picture
been around.
of every Moo Dang I see on Halloween night. I'm going to send
want you to go as that. That's what I want. Then I'll smile.
All right.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Just want to tell you again how proud I am to work with Johnson & Sons Paving. Hardworking, local, family-owned company would love to earn your business before the snow flies. You got to get those cracks and potholes fixed or repaved at your home or commercial property. Pay me now or pay me later, right? But at some point, you have to get it done. And here's the thing. You want to do business with good people. And the Johnson family and their team are the best of people. It was just with Jeff Johnson the other night. We were at a benefit for their signature charity, Blessings in a Backpack. And Jeff's there bidding on everything. The family has sponsored everything. They're helping feed children in this place here where he and his company do business. We support them. They support us. You can get a no-obligation quote today. Tell them Vinny sent you. Asphalt and concrete. Plenty of Johnsons over there. No subcontractors. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
There's no greater threat to Wisconsin farmers than electing Kamala Harris as president and Tammy Baldwin as senator. Baldwin and Harris both supported the Green New Deal. They both supported the EPA's Water of the U.S. regulation known as WOTUS, which would allow the EPA to regulate all private farmland. And Baldwin and Harris broke the tie in the United States Senate to pass the Green New Deal. The Green New Deal would create massive new burdens on farmers, empower government to change and control how we produce and consume energy, and how farmers harvest crops. They're protecting the interests of radical environmentalists, not Wisconsin farmers. If we want to protect farmers this election, it's time to fire Harris and Baldwin. They're just too liberal, too extreme, too radical for Wisconsin farmers. It's time for change. I'm Erik Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Hovde for Wisconsin.
Save big this week on Sendik's Natural Black Angus Ground Sirloin for just $3.99 per pound. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What do you have, Deb?
Well, we're starting to bunch up just a little bit on westbound 94, basically from 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. A little bit tight heading southbound through the Mitchell interchange as well. But overall, we're actually looking pretty good around the rest of the system. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. We picked up some rain last night. Now it's all about the sunshine for this weekend. Clearing skies this morning will give us afternoon sunshine and high temperatures in the lower 60s. Clear skies stay with us tonight, allowing our temperatures to tumble into the 30s inland, 40 by the lake. Saturday, upper 50s for high temperatures with sunny skies all day long. Mostly sunny skies for Sunday as well, with high temperatures a bit warmer in the lower 60s. Monday, mid-60s with more areas of clouds, breezy and mild. Tuesday will really warm those temperatures up into the upper 70s with partly cloudy skies and gusty winds out of the southwest. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
50 degrees in Milwaukee. Early vote turnout continues to be robust. You heard it there in the bottom of the hour news as Wisconsin Elections Commission is still struggling to get one of its systems fully operational. It is a factor, it seems, contributing to some of these long lines we've had reported at in-person absentee voting sites. One factor, as I mentioned, turnout is strong. As of Thursday, listen to these numbers, about 192,000 people voted in-person absentee in Wisconsin. 3 days.
Wow.
So that
Not
number
bad.
jumped. Add that to the total of mail-in or drop-box ballots that have come back to clerks' offices, and we're well over 500,000 votes cast already in Wisconsin. Expecting to be just north of 3 million votes on the whole.
Okay.
When it's all said and done on November 5th. This problem with this label printing operation is a system slowdown. So it's not down, it's just slower than usual.
The lady told me at times yesterday they were waiting 10 minutes for one of these labels.
For one
to come
label
out.
to
Yeah.
vote?
So you multiply
print?
that.
Yeah. And what was the line? So you voted yesterday.
I voted yesterday. It was a 30-minute line. And I didn't. It didn't look that long, to be perfectly honest. I mean, and it moved, and I saw a bunch of people. It's kind of like a social event. And I knew people, so it was quick.
Did you guys crack beers? Or
It sure seemed like that. I was like, hey,
if you had one,
yeah, would have, yeah. But no, it went fairly. Yesterday, much smoother, I think, for everybody versus a couple of days earlier.
I was out at the Blaine's Farm and Fleet talking with folks yesterday in Waukesha and met a gentleman who said, I went by on day one, Waukesha City Hall, and the line was 2 hours. So we took a pass on that. Went back the second day, it was an hour and a half, and he's like, well, I'm here. Hour and a half he waited.
Yikes. See, that I don't think I could do. That's a long time to wait.
Not trying to discourage anyone from early voting,
No,
but
yeah,
until they get this cleared up, there's almost without question you'll have a shorter line on Election Day because they don't have to print these labels. These are the labels that go on the envelopes that house your ballot when you vote absentee.
Right.
So when you go there on Election Day, you just bleep, bleep, plug it right into the machine. Bleep, bleep. Here's your sticker.
It's like I'm there.
6:45, and we got sports coming up next.
Steinhafels has everything you need to get your home ready for the holidays. Elegant dining sets perfect for hosting family dinners, cozy bedrooms to relax and recharge after celebrations, and fireplaces to warm those cold winter nights. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Oh, cow. Wow, look at those trees. Gorgeous now, right? The colors are starting to come. Holy cow,
Sure
it's
are.
been amazing.
Yeah.
Really? You don't like the trees?
I do like the trees.
It's starting to turn.
What
Everything
was
is-
your phrase there? Oh, cow.
Holy cow, I meant to
Holy
say,
cow,
and I
wow.
said, oh, cow.
Okay, well, you got my attention.
Well, the trees, anyway, have been
Why don't you
now
just tell me about the
starting-
trees?
The leaves are starting to fall, and the reminder, you can't just let that stuff pile up. You can't let those leaves get all matted and wet, especially in the beds and all that. It's just, it's not good for your lawn. It's not good for the bed. It's not good for the soil. It's not good for anything. David J. Frank can help you with this. David J. Frank Landscape. Let them help you enjoy your autumn. Make your autumn awesome by using David J. Frank. Enjoy the fall to the fullest. DavidJFrank.com is the website. Get a free quote again at DavidJFrank.com.
Is thinning hair or receding hairline making you feel self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
A lot of buzz at Fiserv Forum this morning. That's because it's the home opener for your Milwaukee Bucks. The 1-0 Bucks will play the Bulls at Fiserv tonight. And don't think for a second that the Bucks don't have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They didn't get picked for the Christmas Day games this year. And Peter Fagan, the Bucks president, on Midday News with Greg and Jessica said, yeah, they're remembering this.
These are global superstars, generational stars that basically are going to prove to everybody that you've made a grave mistake underestimating the Milwaukee Bucks.
Excellent. Love that.
Yes.
Love that.
You have made a grave mistake.
Bucks and Bulls tonight at Fiserv. Tip off at 7. Art coverage at 6. Right here on WTMJ with Buck Shoot Around.
High school football playoffs begin tonight.
That's
I
right.
mentioned that last time around. Tosa East versus Tosa West E.
Wow, in a
tonight.
playoff game.
I don't know that that's ever happened.
Oh,
maybe it has back
you
in the
going?
day, but I'm going to go.
Oh,
It's
fantastic.
been a minute since I visited sweet alma mater.
Awesome.
And so we'll see if the Red Raiders can get it going. What a turnaround
Let's
for that
go.
program. Who do you got in the falls tonight?
Chargers head to Arrowhead. So that's a big game.
All right.
That's a big game.
Tough
Arrowhead's
one out of the gate. All
especially
right.
on the road.
We've talked about the disappointing play in the last couple of games of Packers safety Xavier McKinney. We say that in jest, of course, since McKinney went 5 straight games with interceptions to start the season, and now 2 straight without a pick.
Yep.
Eric, big predictions. Bulstead said he'd have 10 this year.
Still could happen. He's all right.
It's as if Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley was actually texting us.
I sent him a text the other night and said, "Don't get bored."
He said that to, yes, his safety, Xavier McKinney. Hafley saying offenses are flat out avoiding him now, and while he's not getting the turnovers, just having him on the field is affecting games.
And I told him that's like a sign of ultimate respect. When you've been around guys like Revis and some really good players and the ball stops going to them, I mean, just don't get bored because it's going to go up again and you got to be ready for it, and he will be.
And he will be. Packers and Jaguars, noon kick on Sunday.
Vikings lose to the Rams on Thursday Night Football, 30-20.
Badgers under the lights, homecoming, Halloween weekend at Camp Randall Stadium. And oh, by the way, it's a big game too. Number 3 team in the land, the 6-0 Nittany Lions of Penn State. 6:30 kick Saturday night in Madison.
Speaking of the Badgers, history made in Bloomington on Thursday. Women's volleyball, Wisconsin sweeps Indiana, and Coach Kelly Sheffield gets his 306th victory. The all-time leader in victories for volleyball at UW. He joined the Badger Radio Network after the game right here on WTMJ.
You know, I'm really fortunate. I'm not constantly training somebody new, or we're not having to. And it's if you're going to celebrate me having those wins, it's those guys as well. I mean, they're putting in tons of hours.
Always humble, making it sound it's a team effort with the coaches as well. Attaboy, Coach. And finally, Game 1 of the World Series tonight. Dodgers-Yankees.
6:49 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
When you work St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org. Or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Elmbrook Family Dental. You've heard us talk about Elmbrook Family Dental and what they do for the community. They're based in Brookfield and have that new location in Wauwatosa. Well, Elmbrook Family Dental, here's an example. They're giving back during a time of giving as a thank you to those who put their lives on the line to protect and serve our country. This is for active and retired military members, 30% off services for those patients that don't have dental insurance. They'll take care of you. They're going to make sure that you are able to get the dental work you need. If you are an active or retired military service member, check out elmbrookfamilydental.com. That's elmbrookfamilydental.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
This traffic report is brought to you by Harwood Place Retirement Living in Wauwatosa. Located in the heart of Wauwatosa, Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing are changing the face of how to live your golden years. Visit harwoodplace.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie here at 6:51.
All right, we're looking pretty good. Westbound 94 just a little bit tight heading through the stadium interchange. Other than that, the rest of the system is rolling along just fine, so we are in good shape. Happy Friday. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Clearing skies after the overnight rain and a high of 63 degrees today. Clear skies overnight. Low temperatures down to 34 away from Lake Michigan. A little bit warmer if you're on the lakeshore. And for the weekend, sunshine on both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday's high 57, 62 the high temp on Sunday. ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel in the house with us this morning. Of course, want to Ask you about the Packers, the Badgers, all that ahead. Are you going to make fun of Greendale again on your show today?
I mean, we might.
Right.
It's certainly possible.
What's your problem over there?
What do you mean, what's our problem? Apparently, you guys have a problem over there.
We do not have a problem.
Well, so Chewy is an observer of the human condition. You know, he makes a lot of observations. And earlier this week on our show, he just happened to notice, as someone who, knows people from Greendale, that, a lot of them kind of marry one another and don't really leave the center of town too often.
All right, we call it the bubble in Greendale, and I'm not
so
a bubble person. Yes,
so it's a real thing.
Right.
So are you not in the bubble because
No.
I mean, you've got the Tosa East, you got
Yes.
the pullover on today, so you're not
East-West today.
Yeah, ooh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, talk about-
But I'm saying, so because you weren't born in the bubble, can
Yes.
you get access to the bubble if
Not
you're
really.
born outside
No,
of
you're
it?
always an outsider.
Yeah.
Now, my children, perhaps, right, because they've grown up there.
Sure, because
They could be
they
bubble
were
kids.
they were born into they were born into the bubble.
Right. What else was Chewy's problem? He brought food to a party.
Okay, so he's,
I don't mean to bring you in here to account for everything that Chewy says.
Honestly, I am kind of like his handler. Like, if anybody wants to get to him here, they've got to go through me first. I kind of filter it, and then if it actually has to get to the big guy, I'll rein him in. So he was invited over to a friend's house for dinner. His wife was out of town, and they thought, Chewy's wife said, come over for dinner.
They adopt him for the evening.
Yeah,
That's nice.
They adopted him for the evening, which is very nice. Well, his wife came back early, and he wasn't sure if they were going over to this said friend's house anymore, so he bought burgers that night for him and his wife to eat. Well, apparently they still, still come on over. We made some chicken noodle soup. And I don't know when we say Chewy, for those unfamiliar, Mark Chmura, 3-time Pro Bowl tight end, Super Bowl champion, still looks like he could play in the NFL. 6'5", 250 pounds, works out every day, chiseled out of stone. The guy probably needs to eat a little bit more than you and me, Vince.
His daily caloric intake would be higher than
just because
we
of the
common
sheer
folk.
size of the human. So he's thinking, well, chicken noodle soup, that's not really a meal. Hey, do you guys mind? I bought some burgers. Do you mind if I bring over the burgers? And, you would think this would not be an issue because he's offering to bring food. And he said they were kind of put off by it. I suppose you can. I guess so. And he did. And he grilled up the burgers there because chicken noodle soup wasn't going to fill the big guy up.
So what's the etiquette there? Are you allowed to bring an entree? Because oftentimes you are expected to bring something, right? Yeah,
what can I bring?
Whether it's wine or a dessert or
nice
something.
bread.
Yeah, so that's the thing. If you are serving soup, like, you got to have a hearty bread. Like, soup by itself is not a meal. It's not a dinner. Like, this was dinner. This wasn't lunch. Nice light lunch or something. No, this was dinner. You need something that's going to, fulfill you at the end of the meal.
What was the nature of the soup? I mean, there's chicken noodle soup and then there's chicken noodle soup. Was this like a robust sort of? Was it like a booyah?
I mean, there's some good.
I mean, was there a
soup.
lot of stuff in there?
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
it's,
could be
at
a
the end of
meal.
the day, it's still chicken noodle. Chicken noodle can't be a meal.
So he actually went outside and cooked on the grill while they
he
were
did.
cooked
Yes.
his own dinner.
Yeah, he did. He did. And apparently that was also an issue because his buddy is a little OCD and had to clean the grill right after Chewy was done using it.
Now that's a little bit.
All
Hey, I
right.
brought these burgers that I need to use your grill on.
That's out of bounds, right?
Asking a man to use his
If
grill.
he would have brought over the burgers prepared, that's a different story. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes, maybe a little bit.
Maybe a sack of burgers from Five Guys or something like that. I brought a little something extra to supplement.
Before you leave, Dave.
No, let's continue on the soup and the burgers.
With the Vikings losing last night and the Packers playing in Jacksonville, of course. Great opportunity here, right?
Oh yeah, it's a great opportunity for the Packers to pull even with Minnesota. You just gotta hope that they don't overlook this game because Jacksonville has struggled, and there is that game with Detroit, who's in first place with just one loss in the division, looming next week at Lambeau Field. And I mean, the Packers, they should be out. They should outmatch them, right? Like, they're just a better team. But hopefully Jordan Love cleans up the turnovers, because when you start turning the ball over at the clip that Love has, if he has one or two more interceptions like he did last week, that's how a team like Jacksonville ends up hanging around.
Buck, you going to get rolled tomorrow?
Yeah, it's not. Oh, come on. It's not. I mean, it's a night game.
It's a
so
good
I
thing
have
it's
hope.
Halloween and homecoming.
There is some magic inside Camp Randall Stadium when it's under the lights, but look, I mean, they just don't have the athletes that Penn State does.
It is an opportunity for a signature win for Luke Fickell.
He needs one.
You get a win
100%.
under the lights against the number 3
100%.
team in the land.
As much as there was chirping about Fickle earlier this season after some of those losses, if they pull off a win against the number 3 team in the country, I think it's going to be a different tune for a lot of Bucky fans on Sunday morning.
6:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Thanks, Gabe.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
16th Street Community Health Centers moves its labor and delivery services from Ascension Columbia St. Mary's Hospital in Milwaukee to Aurora Sinai Medical Center. Aurora expects about 700 additional deliveries annually as the new provider. The City of Waukesha Redevelopment Authority determines mixed residential could be the best use of more than 70 acres of land when the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee closes its Waukesha campus after the spring 2025 semester. Waukesha County owns the land and will seek proposals from developers in the first quarter of 2025. Milwaukee-based Bars and Recreation eyes a spring 2025 opening of a new activity and entertainment bar in West Dallas. The bar's concept has not yet been announced. I'm Linda Spice for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com. on 620 WTMJ.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
A lot can happen in 25 years, especially in the swamps of Washington, D.C. When we first elected her, Tammy Baldwin focused on Wisconsin. But Baldwin changed. Today, she rakes in campaign cash from left-wing groups and does their bidding. Baldwin supports forcing women's domestic violence shelters in Wisconsin to admit biological men, making survivors of domestic violence sleep in the same building as men. She supported puberty blockers and sex change surgeries for minor children in Wisconsin. Baldwin even voted to send stimulus checks to criminals in jail, including the Boston Marathon bomber. We thought we knew Tammy Baldwin, but she's changed. Now it's time for us to make a change. Replace Tammy Baldwin. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
The Bucks are back for their home opener at Fiserv Forum.
Giannis going coast to coast on the other side, draws the foul and kisses it in anyway. Here comes Lillard the other way. He wants in on the fun. Launches from three and delivers a beauty.
And what better opponent to start against than the Bulls from south of the border? Our coverage of the game starts tonight at 6 with Bucks Shoot Around on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, October 25th, our top story, preparing to pony up in Racine County.
I'm Erik Bilstad, getting out the vote on the court.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Just a little bit of a backup on westbound 94 coming out of the stadium interchange, but overall, everything else is rolling along just fine. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Skies clearing out after overnight rain and a high of 63 degrees today. Clear skies overnight. Tonight's low down to 34 degrees, a little bit warmer if you're on the lakeshore, and 50 right now in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Racine County Board voted to move forward with a 0.5% sales tax. It will take effect in April. WTMJ's Adam Roberts, live at the Breaking News Center.
That's right, Vince. That move coming in response to several county services, including the sheriff's office struggling to stay financed over the last few years. The sheriff alone is facing a $5 million deficit. An earlier draft of the tax would have allocated roughly half of the expected $20 million a year raised to go to property tax relief, but supervisors voted Thursday evening to amend their proposal so only $2 million of the taxes raised would be used for property tax relief. Earlier this week, Waukesha County leaders tabled their own plans to vote on a 0.5% sales tax so that more public discussion on the ordinance could be held.
Decision Wisconsin, 193,000 in-person absentee ballots have been submitted already as day 4 of in-person voting begins in Wisconsin.
The line at Waukesha City Hall stretched out the doors. Voters gathered together to cast their ballots Wednesday. Interim City Clerk Linda Gordeau says voting booths have been packed since early voting started.
Usually in the past, with my experience anyway, with elections, there's been more of an ebb and flow where it's busy right away in the morning, busy at lunch, busy toward the evening. This has just been busy all day.
Gordeau says the influx of people each day has caused slowdowns, but that hasn't kept people from voting. In Waukesha, David Ozady-Scott, WTMJ News.
Election day fast approaching, both parties reaching out to voters everywhere they can. For Democrats, that includes the basketball court.
I think this is the most important election of my lifetime. It really is, and we got to get everybody to understand that.
That's what Milwaukee Bucks head coach Doc Rivers told voters on Thursday at Rose Park on Milwaukee's north side. With Coach Rivers was second gentleman Doug Emhoff encouraging voters to dismiss misinformation from the Trump campaign.
With 10, 12 days left, that's all they're trying to do. They're trying to run away and run out the clock and just keep spreading this fog of misinformation and disinformation so people are confused as to what's happening.
Polls are still open for voting all the way until November 5th. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
You have more campaign visits coming to Wisconsin. So we have the Minnesota First Lady Gwen Walz in Green Bay and Marinette later today. Republican Vice Presidential nominee Senator J.D. Vance will be in Racine on Monday night, and former President Donald Trump will hold a rally at the Resch Center in Green Bay next Wednesday.
Just days after the Department of Justice officials warned Elon Musk that his $1 million giveaway for voters, a new report puts Musk back in the spotlight. ABC's Perry Russum.
Musk has emerged as a major Trump supporter, and now a new report claims Musk and Russian President Vladimir Putin have been in contact since 2022. The Wall Street Journal says the discussions touch on personal topics, business and geopolitical tensions. Musk has not commented on the report. Any ties with Putin could come into question if Musk ends up playing a role in a Trump administration.
Coming up, going hog wild over this technology.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:04.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Does your home need a new defensive coach? Is it prepared for the upcoming wind, cold, rain, and snow? I recommend Siding Unlimited. Can wind and cold get through your windows? Siding Unlimited fixes that. Water and snow a challenge for your roof? Siding Unlimited fixes that too. Is the siding letting the elements through or just looking offensive? Fixing that is Siding Unlimited's first and continuing specialty. When the weather's offense beats your home's defense, call in Siding Unlimited. They're not only the best, they're now a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Their name says siding, but they are so much more. Whatever the challenge, put Siding Unlimited in. See their stuff, siding, windows, roofing, and decks, on Instagram or at their unique outside-in showroom in Brookfield. They're waiting for you. What are you waiting for? SidingUnlimited.com.
Is your shower or tub space looking like it could use an update? WTMJ and Sidex working together to give away a tub or shower conversion, your chance to get a full makeover valued at up to $10,000. Here's what you do. Take a picture of your shower and tub space and then text CREEPY to the WTMJ talk and text line. That's 855-616-1620. Submit your picture and you could win a full conversion from our friends at Sidex. And actually, we've said it has to be creepy. It doesn't really. Like, if you just think you might benefit from a $10,000 conversion in your bathroom, you belong in this contest. For contest rules, visit our website at WTMJ.com.
When is the last time you paid less but got more in return? It happens every day if you or a loved one has Medicare Advantage. $0 copays and an average of $2,500 less out-of-pocket annually, but more benefits like dental, hearing, and vision. More prevention and screenings to keep people healthy. More care for less money. No wonder 33 million seniors choose Medicare Advantage. Visit MedicareAdvantageMajority.org to learn more. Paid for by Medicare Advantage Majority.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet of Waukesha's grand reopening event is going on now. Join us for a chance to win over $10,000 in gift cards and prizes. Shop huge store-wide savings, like 65% off special buy pet beds, just $13.99 while supplies last. Men's Carhartt Halter jeans are half price, just $14.99. Blaine's Farm and Fleet camp chairs, only $9.99. Plus, check out our new self-service pet wash station. Blaine's Farm and Fleet of Waukesha's grand reopening event going on now. See farmandfleet.com for details.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlands.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Richlands. Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Packers quarterback Jordan Love talking about the help he got from the former Jets coach this week in Green Bay. That's in sports at 7:15.
Quarter Pounders now off the menu at 20% of McDonald's restaurants across the U.S. because of an E. coli outbreak. Now, the chief health policy advisor for Milwaukee County tells WTMJ the CDC is prioritizing the investigation.
They fast-tracked it. It's called a fast-moving investigation.
Dr. Ben Weston joined Wisconsin's Midday News to talk about the outbreak that's captured the country's attention. E. coli cases linked to Quarter Pounders.
They're trying to not only find the root cause and track cases, but also make sure that whatever the contaminant is tracked down and removed from that supply chain so more people don't get sick.
A preliminary investigation suggests fresh slivered onions served raw on Quarter Pounders are the likely source of contamination. A supplier for McDonald's has now announced a recall on 4 onion products out of an abundance of caution. Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
At a pig farm in Denmark, European scientists are using AI to help farmers learn the language.
At a pig farm in Denmark, behavioral biologist Elodie Mandel-Briefer records every oink and grunt and squeal. She's part of a 6-nation European effort to create an artificial intelligence algorithm to interpret the sounds in real time.
For farmers, once we have the tool working, they can have an app on their phone that kind of translates in terms of emotions what their pigs are saying.
The AI has already established that short grunts mean a pig is happy, long grunts or squeals signal stress, and that pigs with the freedom to roam outdoors produce fewer stress calls than those confined to pens. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
I mean, you could probably tell when a pig is not.
I don't know. That pig seems happy.
Or just talk to you because you seem to be, you do the pig well.
Yeah, I'm the pig whisperer. 7:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey, riding with you every mile since 1977.
Save big this week on Sendik's Natural Black Angus Ground Sirloin for just $3.99 per pound. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic Indeed, sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What's happening on the roads, Deb?
Not too much. We got one broken down vehicle. Looks like it's a semi on northbound 94, technically right at the end of the Highway 11 on-ramp to northbound. So just heads up with that. The rest of the system looking pretty good. Not seeing really any delays or any other incidents. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. We saw some rain last night. Now we're going to look at lots of sunshine and some decent temperatures for the weekend. Clearing skies this morning with high temperatures in the lower 60s this afternoon with that sunshine. Tonight, clear skies. Temperatures fall into the mid-30s, inland close to 40 by the lakefront. Saturday, sunshine will be there from start to finish with high temperatures in the upper 50s. Sunday, our winds switch out of the southwest, pushing us into the lower 60s once again with mostly sunny skies. And we'll look at mostly cloudy skies on Monday as we see breezy winds out of the southwest and high temperatures in the mid-60s. Temperatures really jump next week for Tuesday. Partly cloudy, warm and breezy, high temperatures in the upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore. The Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 50 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
The Menendez brothers continue to dominate the headlines in California.
I got to tell you, I went to see my mom the other day, and she's like, "So the Menendez brothers." And I'm like, I'm not into it. Like, she was all in on this. Story.
It's big. New hope for the California prisoners, Lyle and Erik. The brothers are each serving life in prison without parole for the murder of their parents. This happened back in 1989, but the case has been back in public scrutiny thanks to a series on Netflix. Big shows on Netflix talking about it. Plus, social media obviously has jumped on this. Some influencers are all over this. There are allegations of molestation. There's new evidence that would indicate maybe there was a reason for the murders. So the LA DA, making news now, he will recommend to a judge today that the brothers should be resentenced.
I believe that they have paid their debt to society.
That's DA George Gascon. He's recommending their life sentence without parole be replaced to make them eligible for parole immediately.
In making his recommendation, Gascon addressed allegations the brothers were sexually abused by their father.
I do believe that the brothers were subjected to a tremendous amount of dysfunction in the home and molestation.
Allegations their supporters say are backed up by new evidence, including a letter written by Erik at that time, and claims from another man who says he was also abused by Jose Menendez.
So today, the DA will recommend the judge consider resentencing. A hearing on the matter could be held within the next 30 to 40 days. So it is possible that they could go free.
I'm not entirely clear on why some of this evidence was not introduced at the time of trial. Did we just look at things differently?
Well, there
Did they
definitely
have poor representation.
There definitely is a play there on how things are considered now. Some have said that if this case were to go to trial now, there'd be entirely different. Doesn't necessarily mean would
perhaps even be charged different.
Right? Yes, they would face different charges. Absolutely, that's the best way to say it.
And if this, the template for this was the whole Avery thing with Making a Murderer and the Netflix doc that caused a lot of people to then come out and support, if not Avery, definitely his nephew, Brendan Dassey, that ultimately did not get the results that this is seeing. And I'm not saying it should have or shouldn't have, but that was like the first one of these that I remember from Netflix where all of a sudden in the popular culture, this story is out there, it becomes national.
Right.
And there's this push to do something, to change the outcome.
And there is definitely a fascination. There's that NPR series from way back when, too. I mean, there's this fascination with looking back at some of these old cases and wondering, was everything done correctly?
Sports is coming up next. It's sponsored by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for a Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the SUV season sales event is on. Perfect timing to gear up for fall and winter driving. Get more Mazda for your money, more for your trade, and score enticing offers. Well-qualified buyers lock in finance rates as low as 0% on all-wheel drive favorites, including the invigorating Mazda CX-5 or CX-30, off-road ready Mazda CX-50, roomy and responsive 3-row Mazda CX-90, and more. Connect with Holiday and discover car buying that makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State and beyond. Fans like me. And this guy.
This is professional running back Braylon Allen, and I drive Holiday. It's impressive how easy car buying can be with Team Holiday on your side.
I agree. That's the way it works at Holiday and why I encourage you to check them out. Treat yourself to a test drive, find yours, and drive it home today from Wisconsin's #1. Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Flooring, carpeting, bath, or kitchen remodeling. Adair is the name Milwaukee has trusted for 65 years. This is Rob Adair. Ready to remodel? Give us a call, 761-3660. Get personal care from Adair, South 27th in Franklin.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The Milwaukee Bucks open up Fiserv Forum tonight. There's a buzz in the air, the home opener against the Chicago Bulls. So what kind of season can we expect for the Deer?
You've made a grave mistake underestimating the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, yes,
Hang on to that one.
Love that line. That's Bucks president.
Play that well into June.
Peter Fagan on WTMJ's Wisconsin's Midday News on Thursday. He told Greg and Jessica he doesn't think that they're getting much of the respect. He says, hey, don't forget these players, they got pride too. So when you're not selected to play on Christmas Day and all that, they notice that.
We've got a sense of pride. Like, we are built to be a championship quality team. And now it's kind of proof, and these are global superstars, generational stars that basically are going to prove to everybody
Bucks and Bulls tip off at 7 o'clock at 5. Serve our coverage at 6 with Bucks shoot-around right here on WTMJ.
WIAA high school football playoffs begin tonight. It's a weeks-long battle to get to Camp Randall Stadiums. We'll see how those games turn out. Packers and Jaguars Sunday. Much made of the visit to Green Bay this week from the guy that Aaron Rodgers fired last week from the Jets. Just waiting for that reaction. He didn't actually fire him. Former Jets coach Robert Saleh, good pals with Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, brought in to help the offense. Packers quarterback Jordan Love said,
having a defensive mind, talking offense and helping us, with things that we might be able to see, kind of some of our scheme stuff, things that defenses might be looking for, it helps.
Heard Gabe mention it if you were listening when we had Gabe Neitzel in from ESPN Milwaukee. He said, potential trap game here. You're on the road against a crummy Jaguars team. Got the division-leading Lions coming up in prime time next week, right? Jaguars are 2-5. They're not good. Get in, get the win, get out. Let's not look too far ahead. Noon kick on the road in Jacksonville Sunday.
And by the way, the Vikings lost to the Rams on Thursday Night Football. That's huge. So a great opportunity for Green Bay.
Chance to make a move in the NFC North. College football, the number 3 team in the land, coming to Camp Randall Stadium on Saturday. Badgers host the undefeated Nittany Lions of Penn State. Penn State's 6-0. It's homecoming. It's Halloween weekend.
Yeah, it is.
And you've got this huge matchup.
Fantastic.
Absolutely up for grabs in Madison.
Does Luke Fickell wear like a clown wig on the sidelines?
He does not.
A Moo-Dang costume?
No, but there will be costumes in the stadium. 6:30 kick Saturday night.
Speaking of the Badgers, Wisconsin women's volleyball, history made in Bloomington.
And the Badgers have won their 8th straight match. And with that victory, Wisconsin head coach Kelly Sheffield has reached career win number 306 at the University of Wisconsin. He is the all-time winningest coach for the Badgers.
Yes, sir. That's how it sounded on WTMJ Radio Thursday night. Wisconsin sweeps Indiana, and Coach Kelly with his 306th victory. Congratulations to the coach.
From the kids on the hill with my mom and my pops. I came to get down. So get out your seat and jump around.
High taxes can erode returns quickly. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? Let Creative Planning help with a free year-end tax review. This personalized review will help you reduce your tax burden before the year ends. It's the perfect time to take proactive steps to optimize your tax situation. Go to creativeplanning.com/radio and request your free tax review. Act now. This offer is only good till Monday, October 28th at midnight. That's creativeplanning.com/radio.
Creepy crawlies, or even worse, critters. Vince Vitrano for your best pest defense. The Bugman and Queen Bee, also the best name in the business. Local family, veteran owned and operated. Just had them out to the house. So we did the full rodent inspection and monitoring, full indoor and outdoor treatments. This means we're good for 6 months. See you in spring. Forget about it. Haven't seen a bug since. You call over there, you talk with Julie, and she'll walk you through everything. She'll start with, what do you got? What do you got over there at your house? I told her at our house it was like ants and spiders. Bugman himself, Adam, at my place, said centipedes, box elders, those Asian lady beetles, also big problems right now. Critters of all kinds as well, mice and even rats. Hope we don't have rats. Adam and his brother Matt out at the house last week, on time, did all the stuff they promised, done in less than an hour. The Bugman and Queen Bee have time to get you in this fall before the invaders make a home in your home. Here's the number to call, 262-633-3411, 262-633-3411, bugmanqueenbee.com.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel, inviting you on an unforgettable 2025 European journey. Travel in style, embrace beauty, and create memories with new friends as you visit our favorite destinations, including Ireland, Italy, Germany, France, Switzerland, Poland, Croatia, and more. Whether it's your first or your 10th time visiting Europe, you don't want to miss out on our expertly crafted group tours with Insight Vacations, Globus, or Avalon Waterways. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Let's explore the world together.
Here's what Tammy Baldwin thinks about President Trump and you.
Donald Trump might be one of the most offensive and hateful and unacceptable presidential candidates we've ever had. So what does that say about the people who support him.
Tammy Baldwin is a liberal snob. Vote her out.
I'm Erik, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Checking in with Debbie here at 7:22.
Okay, well, it looks like we've got a relatively clear ride around the area. Not seeing too many issues. A couple of broken down vehicles here and there, but they're out of traffic. So overall, we're looking good. As volume-wise, it's starting to build up, but not really slowing down just yet. Hey, be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Clearing skies after that overnight rain, much needed. High of 63 degrees. Clear skies continue tonight, 34 degrees. Your inland low, 40 at the lake. And then the weekend looks fantastic. Sunny and a high of 57 on Saturday. Sunshine continuing on Sunday with a high of 62. Right now, 50 in Milwaukee. Told you earlier, Port Milwaukee is coming off a record Great Lakes cruising season. And they want to build a new dock for these big ships that are coming into Milwaukee. They want to do this near the current Lake Express ferry terminal. That would be on the Bayview side of the Hone Bridge. So you get just over the bridge, and there's Port Milwaukee, and then you've got the terminal there for Lake Express. The mayor has included in his budget for next year $5 million from the city's general fund to support that effort. Now, we discussed at the time, remember both of us were like, $5 million.
Now, what are you going to do with that? How does that work?
Seems like a low number, right? Well, we were right. $5 million is the city of Milwaukee contribution toward a $17 million project. The rest would be coming from state and federal funds as well as Port Milwaukee funds that they largely have in the bank. Still, might look like a sound investment. It's a growing industry, right? Port Milwaukee reporting 27 cruise visits this year, more than 13,000 visitors to the city because of it. Full steam ahead.
Has anybody actually done a cost-benefit analysis of whether this cruise ship dock is worth a $17 million investment?
Whoa!
Is that Bauman?
Enter one of our favorite characters at Milwaukee City Hall, downtown Alderman Bob Bauman. Should we play the opening?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bureaucracy, legislation, red tape.
I'm so bored.
Doesn't anything fun happen here?
When you work for the local government, doing the bare minimum is doing your part.
It's time to take another visit to City Hall.
So Bob Bauman chairs the city's Public Works Committee, which is, like all committees now, holding hearings on the budget. And he is, if you couldn't tell, not sold on this plan.
At $17 million, I have to say I have problems with this project.
Understood. All right. Well, thank you for the opportunity to come and talk about this.
Okay, so gauntlet laid down here.
Just so you know, as we get started.
That was the director of Port Milwaukee, Jackie Q. Carter, before the committee this week. And she holds her own in support of the project. That's how some of these go. It's a fascinating back and forth between she and Alderman Bauman. And Bauman's badgering her a little bit, but that's kind of the game, and she's up for it. So Port Director Carter saying that just the last couple of years, the cruise business has had an economic impact to the city north of $7 million. Her point, there'll be a sound return on this continued investment. Bauman?
I know these kind of economic impact studies, and they're, in my humble opinion, they're not worth the paper they're written on. Because they always puff up the numbers.
Puff up the numbers. I do like that. He's not buying any of it. Actually said out loud what a lot of people wonder. Where do we get these numbers? So they have a $10 billion economic impact.
Come up with something.
Right,
Yeah.
so...
Well, there's some science behind them, right?
There is. I promised you a back and forth, though. So Carter says they've got these bigger Viking cruise ships among them, but Vikings are some of the bigger ones. They're coming into town right now, and they're too big for Pure Wisconsin, which already exists and serves cruise ships. And so these bigger ships, they have to dock at the commercial port. So same spot they're loading and unloading container ships, salt, and whatever else comes to town. Not ideal.
There are other ports that are working on cruise ship terminals as well. So right now we don't have a lot of competition. That's going to change. And so while we can get away with not having the aesthetic in this moment, that will not always be the case.
So her point is, we've got the cruise business for now. This is working okay, but if we want to keep it up, we need to up our game to match these other Great Lakes cities that are like, hey, we'll get in on that and we'll build a new thing that's real nice. may become more attractive as they invest in new facilities.
They have been using this.
They've been using this. This is in the commercial space.
And they keep coming back, so apparently it's adequate from the eyes of the cruise ship operator.
For now, and here's why we
have they told us they're not coming back?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So I love the back and forth here. What she's saying is they might not come back if we don't think long term, without regard for who's right. Just kind of an interesting window in how these things are debated. You know, we spoof on Bauman a lot here on the show, but even if the project moves forward, his questions are relevant.
Right. Yes.
And they have to be answered. And so it's good that he's poking at this and trying to get to it. He's not to a yes yet. I mean, this will ultimately be decided at the Common Council, full Common Council level. Although, curious, it would have been nice if Bauman asked these same questions about the streetcar, for which he championed and now rolls around there as a drain to the city. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, but maybe he just likes trains and not boats.
Did these cruise ships enter into long-term contracts with us? So guaranteeing that they'll be coming back for 10 years, 15 years?
This is what I'm trying to get to.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at 42,374. That was down about 141 points. NASDAQ was up 139 to 18,415. And the S&P 500 up 13 to 5810. Elections have consequences. Is your investment and retirement plan ready for what's next? Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
We've found that the high road is worth the climb, and it's less crowded. At Semperfi, everything we do is done to the best of our ability. There are no shortcuts. It's pretty simple. We do what we say we're going to do because we fully understand that a reputation is never given. It's always earned. It is in our nature to keep our values intact so that when we leave your job, you'll be right there to shake our hand with satisfaction. We've installed massive flat roofs and shingled huge churches, schools, and all kinds of homes from modest to extravagant, all with integrity and pride in our work. And we're going to keep doing it for generations to come. That's what Always Faithful means to us. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
We're looking at a pretty good ride shaping up this morning. No major delays, just a couple of areas where we've got broken down vehicles here and there. But for the most part, everything else is rolling along well. Volume's just starting to pick up. Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving.
Clearing skies this morning with a high of 63 degrees. Clear skies overnight. Low down to 34 away from Lake Michigan, 40 at the lake.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Counting down the days until the November 5th election, Donald Trump mincing no words when discussing special counsel investigating him for trying to overturn the 2020 election. ABC's Rachel Scott has more.
Trump saying if reelected, getting rid of Jack Smith would be, quote, one of the first things addressed. Later, even calling for him to be thrown out of the country. After nearly 2 years of investigating, Smith has brought over 40 charges against Trump. If elected, they will almost certainly all be dismissed.
Kamala Harris will be in Houston tonight campaigning with Beyonce and Willie Nelson. Lyle and Erik Menendez, the brothers who killed their parents in 1989, could be getting out of prison soon. The Los Angeles District Attorney recommending new sentencing based on their age. The first World Series featuring 5 MVPs set for tonight in Los Angeles. Dodgers and Yankees. The MVPs are the Dodgers' Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, and Mookie Betts, and the Yankees' Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Racine County Board voted to move forward with a 0.5% sales tax. It will take effect in April. Comes in response, they say, to county services struggling to stay financed. Earlier draft of the sales tax would have allocated roughly half of the projected $20 million a year earned to property tax relief. However, supervisors also voted Thursday to amend the proposal. It'll now only be $2 million of the taxes raised to be used for that purpose. Earlier this week in Waukesha County, leaders tabled plans to vote on their proposed 0.5% sales tax.
Pleading not guilty to sexual assault of a child, former Sheboygan Falls Assistant Fire Chief John Albright entered his plea during his arraignment this week. The court is lowering his bond to $50,000 and providing modifications so that he could be in contact with his child. Albright is charged with sexually assaulting a child in 2008 and 2009 after a party at his house. He's back in court in December.
In-person absentee voting numbers approaching 200,000 in the state for the first 3 days. Day 4 today, as some polling places continue to report delays. TMJ4's chief political reporter Charles Benson on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
They're saying the delays have only affected the label print.
The Bucks are more than just exploring that idea.
Bucks President Peter Feigin believes the bid submission is step one in the process.
We're definitely interested in and exploring, and that's kind of where it is right now.
The 12-team league will expand to 15 by 2026 with the goal of adding another team before 2028. And that's where Milwaukee could fall in.
I do think we have an incredible market. I think the summer market is kind of apt to need some more content and programming, and there definitely could be a great opportunity.
The goal would be for that team to play its games at Fiserv Forum. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
Traffic sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield is excited to welcome Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
Coming up, do you think the Uber driver even knew? That story next.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Abby from Abby Home here. Is your insurance company questioning your roof's life? Thinking it may be time to replace it? Get a roof from Abby Home. It's the last roof you'll ever have to put on. Our Golden Pledge warranty gets you a 50-year non-prorated warranty and 25-year workmanship warranty. Right now, get our lowest prices of the year with our 14-year anniversary sale. Go to myabbyhome.com for more. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Fall Workwear event is going on now. We've got unbeatable deals on quality boots and apparel to help your hard-earned dollars go further. Like men's Dickies Rugged Flex Pants, $5 off. Shop our new assortment of Brunt work boots in-store now. Get $30 in Carhartt bucks for every $125 you spend on Carhartt gear. See store for details. Plus, shop unbeatable toy deals in Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland. Now open.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
The text message that Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley sent to his star safety this week. That's coming up in sports at 7:45. So you know the getaway car, right?
Yes.
Crook's gonna knock off a bank or steal from a business. Sometimes there is an accomplice.
Yeah. Waiting in a car somewhere.
Yes, for the quick getaway. Mm-hmm. Sometimes in the movies, it's a chase scene. You've seen somebody once in a while get in a cab.
Where can I take you tonight?
Drive!
Sometimes I think I do these stories just for the drop.
Just for the Total Recall reference.
Would you please repeat the destination?
Oh, anywhere, just go!
Story out of Menominee Falls this morning. Police putting out a picture of a woman who ripped off the Target on Shady Lane. 1:30 in the afternoon, walked out with a bunch of stuff on Tuesday. They think she got away in a ride share.
What do you mean? Like an Uber?
Yeah. Menominee Falls Police Department investigating a retail theft which occurred at Target, located, and you get the address there, 10/22/24, 1:23 p.m. Suspect had an identified female and appeared to be in her early 20s. The suspect likely arrived and left the store via an Uber or Lyft transport service.
Wow.
You think the driver had any idea?
Must not have, right? If she took the Uber there, okay, I'll be back.
Yeah. Okay, are you Jane? Yeah, all right, yeah, I'm your driver. Okay, great. Where are you going? I know, somewhere quick. So get me out of here quick. Hadn't heard that one before.
You come running out with the stuff? I mean, I guess it wouldn't look guilty, I suppose, if you just...
These days where you just kind of let people walk out of the store with armfuls of stuff, unless you have law enforcement
Uber
there.
driver's not going to be like, I need to see your receipt quick.
Did you buy all that, ma'am? Ma'am, you seem to be moving quickly. No, so Uber or Lyft driver, not necessarily implicated in this, just have been picking up their fare.
No kidding.
That's bold.
Would you please repeat the destination?
Oh, anywhere, just go.
News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
You're busy. Work, family, life. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what you'll do about things like retirement planning, selling a business, investing, or building your legacy. So your buddy hooks you up with his guy. Seems fine, but when it gets down to advice, you're all of a sudden knee-deep in products packed with commissions. You start to wonder, are you getting advice or are you getting a sales pitch? Annex Wealth Management is a fee-only fiduciary. No commission products, just advice. And clear thinking when it comes to your investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. Annex believes financial planning is for everyone. Annex Comprehensive Wealth is a great fit for most. For those with high net worth and complex planning challenges, consider Annex Private Client. For those just starting out, Annex Ignite is a great choice. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button. It only takes a couple of minutes. Set your own appointment at a time convenient for you. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. annexwealth.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ. Steve Scavidi here. My wife and I just took advantage of Heiser's savings and got our brand new 2024 Chevy Trailblazer, and boy, is this thing amazing. It's a beautiful sterling gray metallic that really shines. With a 5-star safety rating, we feel secure with features like automatic emergency braking, IntelliBeam Auto High Beam Lane Keep Assist, and an HD rear vision camera that will blow you away. The owner benefits, unbeatable. 3-year, 36,000 bumper-to-bumper warranty, 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty, and Heiser's exclusive Safe and Sound program. Get the details at Heiser.com. The tech is top-notch, and the remote starter, perfect for our weather. Heated seats and steering wheel, you bet. And the best part, it's affordable and perfect for everyone. Heiser's Safe and Sound program is a game changer, vehicle exchange program, roadside assistance for life, and more. No wonder they've been in business for over 100 years. Don't miss their end of summer sizzling savings all month long. Visit Heiser.com because at Heiser, today's your day.
Checking in with Debbie here at 7:40.
Yep, we're looking pretty good out there. It's a little bit heavy westbound 94 going through the stadium interchange. No other delays up on the board or incidents for that matter. We just have one broken down vehicle out of traffic southbound 43 at Fond du Lac Avenue, not really affecting your ride. So we're in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Rain rolled through last night. Now a high pressure is moving in to take control into the weekend. We'll look at clearing skies today. Lots of afternoon sunshine with high temperatures in the lower 60s. Clear skies tonight and cool temperatures will fall into the mid-30s inland, 40 by the lakefront. We'll look at Saturday's high temperatures to stay in the upper 50s with sunny skies all day long. Mostly sunny for Sunday with high temperatures a bit warmer in the lower 60s. Monday, mid-60s, mostly cloudy and breezy. Tuesday, we're going to crank up those temperatures into the upper 70s. Partly cloudy skies, breezy and warm throughout the day. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp still stuck on 50.
An update to a policy. What would you call this? A story, obviously. County government.
The never-ending story.
The never-ending story. This one. We do have an update. No, it's not a flag story. No.
Please.
No, Greg, come
Please, no.
No, this is on the domes. The Milwaukee County Board's Finance Committee unanimously approved a $133 million proposal to reimagine the Mitchell Park domes.
Okay, I've seen this movie before.
Yeah, we've seen
over and over and over again.
So in this movie,
we have a plan. We have a plan. We have a plan. It's going to a vote. It's going to a vote. It's not going to a vote. It's going back to we can't vote on this.
So in this reboot, the county would commit $30 million over 6 years to restore the domes, and there'd be some different parts of that. They'd renovate a gift shop. They'd add some other revenue-generating spaces as well. And the county would still own the domes, but the Friends of the Domes, that agency, that organization, if you will, would operate it. Executive Director of Friends of the Dome, Krista Beal.
This is an example of when government is really working well. And we have a solution. We have this amazing plan, and I'm just so grateful to each of you for your support.
So the full board will vote on this in a couple of weeks. We'll check in on this. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll check in with the county supervisor who is directly involved. It's his district. Get his take on what will work this time versus what hasn't worked in the past.
That's my question. Is this done? Like, if it passes, is this done and we're moving forward with a plan after better than a decade, right? If not two.
It's been a long time.
Talking about the future of the domes. 7:43 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales, Luther Gray.
James Imaging has been a wonderful partnership with the Milwaukee Symphony and just great to work with.
In what ways?
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
Luther James Imaging Systems is a local business technology company that stands with their clients over the long term.
Yes, before, during, and after the sale, James Imaging is there, and they are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Luther, any advice for others looking for a long-term business technology partnership?
I would tell them that James Imaging is the way to go.
Start your business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems today. It's easy to do. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Vince Vitrano for Lifetime Door Company. Install day was Monday, and it was not 15 minutes since the guys left that my across-the-street neighbor is out of the house. And he goes, hey, that looks fantastic. He's pointing at the doors, and he's thanking me. This is the guy who has to stare at my house from his front living room, so you're welcome, JJ. We did a different color, we went with a different look, and the design team can walk you through every option when you custom design your garage door with Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. Easy to find, just north of 124th and Burleigh, just on the edge of Wauwatosa into Brookfield. Want to thank John and Matt. They did a super job on the install. And if you tell them Vinny sent you, they'll knock $100 off the cost of your new door, $50 off the cost of a new door opener. You want to see mine? Text DOOR to 855-616-1620. That's DOOR to the talk and text line, and we'll send you a link to the before and after photos. The before photo is the white door, and the after is the brown. In case you didn't notice, which clearly you would, visit the showroom in Brookfield or get started online now at lifetimedoor.net.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The 1-0 Milwaukee Bucks open up Fiserv Forum tonight, the home opener against the Chicago Bulls. So what can we expect this season? Well, Bucks president Peter Fagan was on WTMJ's Wisconsin's Midday News on Thursday. He says the players, man, they a little PO'd on how they feel they've been treated, especially not playing on Christmas this year.
These are global superstars, generational stars that basically are going to prove to everybody that you've made a grave mistake underestimating the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yes, sir.
I love that line.
Bucks and Bulls tip off at 7 o'clock at Fiserv. Our coverage starts at 6 with Bucks shoot around right here on WTMJ.
High school football playoffs begin tonight.
That's
Not
right.
to lose track of that. Tosa East, Tosa West. All the teams in the playoffs. How did it match up that way?
That's fantastic. Has that ever happened before?
I don't think so. We've never been good at the same time, and that is sweet alma mater.
Are you
Tosa
going to the
East.
game?
I'm going to go. It's been a minute since I've been back.
Does anyone run and like splash paint on that Tosa West rock now when no one's around
I
watching
drove by
the
there
game?
the other day. The rock was gone.
Oh, it's not even there anymore.
I don't think so, which also bothered me.
You were looking for the rock. That's curious.
Well, it simply existed there to be defaced by the Tosa East folks.
Interesting.
All right. So that is going in so many communities across the state today. We talked about the disappointing play, Eric, in the last two games of Packers safety Xavier McKinney.
Ugh.
What a disappointment.
Yeah. No turnover.
We say that in jest, of course, since McKinney went 5 straight games with interceptions to start the season, and then now 2 straight without a pick. Erik, big predictions. Bilstad said he'd have 10 this year.
Still could.
Looked like you were going to be done well before the end of the season. It's as if Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley was speaking directly to you.
I sent him a text the other night and said, "Don't get bored."
He sent that text to Erik. Hey, don't get bored. No, he actually sent it to his safety, McKinney. Hafley saying offenses are flat out avoiding him.
Right.
And while he's not getting turnovers, just him being out there is affecting games.
And I told him that's like a sign of ultimate respect. When you've been around guys like Revis and some really good players and the ball stops going to him, I mean, just don't get bored because it's going to go up again and you got to be ready for it. And he will be.
And he will be. Packers and Jaguars, noon kick on Sunday.
Great opportunity for Green Bay on Sunday because the Vikings played the Rams on Thursday Night Football and Minnesota loses 30-20, so they are now 5-2.
It would be a signature win for Badgers head coach Luke Fickell. Badgers under the lights. Homecoming and Halloween weekend collide at Camp Randall Stadium, and oh, by the way, a pretty big game. The number 3 team in the land.
Yes.
The 6-0 Nittany Lions of Penn State for a 6:30 kick Saturday night in Madison.
You don't think it'd be great if Luke Fickell was dressed as a Ghostbuster on the sidelines for Halloween?
It's dress up at work day. Lots of people have it. What?
Speaking of Wisconsin athletics, women's volleyball making history in Bloomington Thursday night. Wisconsin sweeps Indiana, and Coach Kelly Sheffield with his 306th victory, the all-time leader in victories at UW volleyball. He was on the Badger Radio Network after the game.
You know, I'm really fortunate. I'm not constantly training somebody new, or we're not having to. And it's if you're going to celebrate me having those wins, it's those guys as well. I mean, they're putting in tons of hours.
He's crediting his staff there, saying it's not just him; it's the whole group.
Nice program going there.
Coach, yeah.
7:49 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Mark Tauscher next.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
A lot can happen in 25 years, especially in the swamps of Washington, D.C. When we first elected her, Tammy Baldwin focused on Wisconsin. But Baldwin changed. Today, she rakes in campaign cash from left-wing groups and does their bidding. Baldwin supports forcing women's domestic violence shelters in Wisconsin to admit biological men, making survivors of domestic violence sleep in the same building as men. She supported puberty blockers and sex change surgeries for minor children in Wisconsin. Baldwin even voted to send stimulus checks to criminals in jail, including the Boston Marathon bomber. We thought we knew Tammy Baldwin, but she's changed. Now it's time for us to make a change. Replace Tammy Baldwin. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Save big this week on Sendik's Natural Black Angus Ground Sirloin for just $3.99 per pound. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Debbie.
All right, still a quiet ride around the area, although westbound 94 is starting to get a little bit heavier from 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound tapping on the brakes just a little bit through the stadium interchange as well. But overall, we are looking at a really good ride across the system. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of 63 degrees today. We're clearing out after the overnight rain. And clear skies remain tonight with lakeside low of 40. A little bit colder if you're away from Lake Michigan. The weekend looks perfect. High of 57 and sunshine on Saturday. Mostly sunny Sunday with a high of 62. Right now, 50 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
They feel like this guy can come in and he's a better kicker than what they had, and they can help this team win.
Innovator.
I still think he's going to be aggressive until McManus proves that he can make a bunch of 45-yard field goals plus.
I hope we see that on Sunday then.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
Just came here on Wednesday. He's got this to win it. Low snap, the kick. It is good.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Kohler Services. Tausch, how about the weekend ahead in Madison? 6:30 kickoff against the number 3 team in the country. And, oh, by the way, it's homecoming and Halloween weekend.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a better atmosphere that you could get. So Halloween on its own, I know when I was a student there, it was always crazy, State Street and the parade and the whole deal. And now I think for Badger fans, 3 weeks ago, we probably were thinking, oh, boy, what is going on? And now the excitement, the energy, and the fact that I think a lot of people are really excited about the fact that we can kind of prove ourselves against a top 5 team in the country. So if you're looking for the big-time college football atmosphere, and I know there's recruits coming in, I don't know if you're going to have a better showcase weekend in the city of Madison than what we have potentially lined up here on Saturday.
Oh, man, that just made me really nervous for the game now because you can't get rolled. You can't, it's got to be a tight one,
What
right?
a negative. Come on.
No, I'm just nervous.
No, I get it. And I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think everybody was nervous. We had come off of a couple of tough losses against good teams and Purdue. And I think that was one of those, man, we're not going to lose to Purdue. And fortunately we didn't. We played really well. And now I understand the angst, but I just think you have to look at how we've played and how we've improved. And yes, Penn State is a really good team. And, do they have that potential? I know every time we play at Ohio State, I think it's that same, man, let's just not get, rolled, as you just put it. I mean, obviously sports, anything can happen. I feel like this is going to be a heck of a matchup, and I think it's going to be incredibly tight. Who knows how it all shakes itself out, but I would be really surprised if we talk on Monday and we're saying, I can't believe that it looked. I don't think that's going to be one of the options, but we'll find out. I feel a lot more confident about that than maybe negative Bilstad.
Yes. Did you dress up ever for Freak Fest?
Oh yeah, I don't know if I ever got like freak, but yeah, there was. I mean, it's Halloween, and I think that's the time to go do it. I'm trying to remember. I was one of those monks. It was. I can't remember exactly what it was. That was one of my favorite ones. I don't even remember what it was. And then Pac-Man. I tried to get into it as much as I could in college, and now as a parent, you always kind of go with whatever your kids go with. You just kind of throw something on. But I think Halloween in Madison is one of those, you have to be all in on it, because if you're not, you actually end up looking freakier than the people that are dressed up as freaks.
Right. Don't just wear a hat. You're either in costume or you're not.
Yeah. You don't go with like The Office when they did that, where Jim Halpert was, dressed up as like a businessman or something. You have to go all in, and it's always fun. I think honestly the best part, especially just going and looking, that if from a people watching standpoint, there is nothing better to be down on State Street for that. The only thing I'm a little nervous about is how on earth is anybody going to move? How's anybody going to get anything done traffic wise? This is, again, me being the old man, but I'm already thinking after the game, like, how am I going to get home? Because this is going to be a complete blank show in downtown Madison at about 11 o'clock on Saturday.
Meanwhile, on Sunday, Vince used a term that I hadn't thought or heard of all week, that Sunday could be a quote-unquote trap game.
The trap game. You got Detroit in primetime the following week. Jaguars are crummy. You're on the road.
Vikings
Things are going pretty well.
Right.
I get that, and I'm not going to sit here and say that human nature doesn't play into things, because Detroit is obviously going to be a huge game. They're really good. We're really good. But I think the thing that's not going to be trappy about this game is you have a lot of young guys that are still proving themselves. You don't have these old, crusty veterans that are, I don't want to go down to Jacksonville. Like, that's not any part of the DNA of this roster. So can crazy stuff happen? We just saw it last night. The Rams were able to beat Minnesota. I don't think that's the case, but human nature, and anytime you go on the road in the NFL, I mean, Green Bay's only favored by 4 or 4.5 points, and they're a much better team than Jacksonville, and anything can happen in this league, but I don't think it's going to be because they're not taking Jacksonville serious and they're looking ahead to Detroit. I think it would just be they just didn't execute. They didn't play well on the road, but that will be a storyline, I can assure you. If Sunday doesn't go well down in Jacksonville, everybody will be saying, well, it's because you looked ahead, because that game next week is going to be so big.
Boldathon late entry. Badgers win Saturday night.
Oh.
Badgers win. Signature win for Luke Fickell. Here we go.
Honest to God, Vinny, as I was just listening to you predicting that and with Bilstad, we have been, as this little segment, we've been pretty on it when it comes to our sports hot takes, bold takes, and predictions throughout this fall.
It's true.
And I'm coming off my prediction of 2 80-degree days. Did that in a couple of days.
My bold prediction.
Your lawn mowing.
Yeah.
Your lawn mowing with freeze. Yeah, you've been on it. And how fun will it be when Pancake opens with, I think we're going to beat Penn State on Monday, and all the celebrations from the radio and TV calls. That's going to be awesome.
I didn't do it just for effect. I'm feeling it. Thanks, Taos.
All right.
7:58 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
16th Street Community Health Centers moves its labor and delivery services from Ascension Columbia St. Mary's Hospital in Milwaukee to Aurora Sinai Medical Center. Aurora expects about 700 additional deliveries annually as the new provider. The City of Waukesha Redevelopment Authority determines mixed residential could be the best use of more than 70 acres of land when the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee closes its Waukesha campus after the spring 2025 semester. Waukesha County owns the land and will seek proposals from developers in the first quarter of 2025. Milwaukee-based Bars and Recreation eyes a spring 2025 opening of a new activity and entertainment bar in West Dallas. The bar's concept has not yet been announced. I'm Linda Spice for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com. on 620 WTMJ.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake. Are you sure you're getting the most out of Social Security benefits? At Drake & Associates, we know that maximizing your Social Security is critical for a secure retirement. With the right strategy, you can potentially increase your lifetime benefits and secure a better future. But navigating the rules and timing can be complex. Don't leave your benefits to chance. Text SS to 414-409-9982 today to schedule a complimentary consultation and receive a free retirement ready toolkit. That's SS to 414-409-9982. Drake & Associates. Plan smart, retire happy.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
There's a clear choice for U.S. Senate. Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Businessman Erik will stop inflation, secure our border, and defend our Wisconsin values.
I'm Erik Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.